Rupakadamahyam Dadati Shapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadotam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakamitam Shri Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Vachapatitanam Bhavanebhya Vaishnavyo Namo Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Grimithurma Tamu Manda Shivanandana Paramananda Parichitanisharam Hare Krishna. No. So, today we are resuming the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Today let us discuss the glories of Haridas Thakur. Just give me 1 minute. So we are discussing the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya in the youth. But I just want to add today the glories of Haridas Thakur. Then we'll continue with the chapter Lord Pastimes of Lord Chaitanya in the youth. So Haridas Thakur, what a personality, Namacharya, amazing. He was born in Budhana and settled in Fulia near Shantipur, So Haridas Thakur and Advaita Acharya, they were born, they appeared even before Lord Chaitanya appeared actually. Haridas Thakur, he would chant every day 300,000 names, means 192 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra. And and the common symptoms, the ecstatic symptoms of shivering, horripilation, hair standing on the end, they are common for Haridas Thakur. Anybody would come in the association of Haridas Thakur would be affected by these glories, would be affected by his mood of chanting, his mood of serving Krishna in a pure devotional service, in pure devotional way. So, like Prahlad Maharaj, Haridas Thakur was always, he was absorbed in chanting of the holy. He was absorbed in, pure bhakti. Hare Krishna. So the very, very pious people of that area, they would respect Haridas like anything, But this has created problem This has created a problem in the life of the Qazi of that area, who became envious of Haridas Thakur. You know, became envious of Haridas Thakur. And what he did, he spoke ill of Haridas Thakur to the Nawab, and um, he made Nawab purchase his plot. This is Muslim, but he is actually chanting the names of Hindu gods. He is a disgrace to Islam. So if this continues, it's not very good. So the Nawab purchased, and Haridas Thakur, Haridas Thakur was, he sent soldiers to bring Haridas Thakur. So and they told him to imprison him. Before that, he was brought to the court, to try his case. All the prisoners, there are so many wonderful devotees. They were persecuted and they were all imprisoned. When they came to know Haridas Thakur is coming to see them, they were very glad. So they were chanting the holy name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When they came to know Haridas Thakur is coming as a captive, as a prisoner, they were very sad. However, anyway, Haridas Thakur came. When they saw the demeanor of Haridas Thakur, he was effulgent and his pure bhakti is permeating. And when the prisoners saw that, they all offered obeisances and with a lot of devotion chanted the holy name, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Haridas Thakur saw they were so humble. He blessed them. May you remain so. So when they heard this blessing, they were so sad. So they thought Haridas Thakur is blessing them to remain as prisoners. They were so sad that they're condemned to be prisoners. When Haridas Thakur, their anxiety increased. Haridas Thakur saw their mood and said, no, definitely not. I am very pleased with your devotional attitude, your humility, your intense desire to chant the holy name. I'm very pleased. And I want to tell you this, in 2 to 3 days, you'll all be released anyway. But my request to you, the human life is very rare. So when you are released from the prison, don't go back to the material life. And don't associate with the sinful people, sinful atheistic people, Mayavadis. Continue chanting the holy name of Krishna, because that is the only treasure of this world. Rest is all the illusory energy of the Lord. But in Krishna and Krishna's name, they are always transcendental. Understanding the rarity of human life and not knowing when we'll attain this life, we should perfect our life today, not tomorrow. So when they heard this, and he said, I'm so pleased with your enthusiasm to chant the name of God. I'm so pleased to see your devotional fervor. Be always Krishna conscious. They were so glad. They all offered obeisances to Haridas Thakur. Then later, Haridas Thakur was present in the court. He was present in front of Nawab. So what is that? What is that? So the Nawab said, you are You are so fortunate to have attained a birth in a very elevated, advanced, in a very elevated family. You are born as a Muslim. Why you are Why you are chanting the name of Hindu gods? Haridas Thakur said, God is one. God is one. People may call him with any name. God is one and he has a name, he has a form, he has activities, and he has associates. By the power of the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord, we all have, you know, we we draw all these lines, but God is one. And his name is chanted in whatever names chant his name. God is a person. God is a person. So God is a person. He has a name. He has a form. He has unlimited pastimes. And it is our problem. But different people call him with different names. But God is one. No? Then the Nawab said, if you really ask me, you should, you should express remorse for having given up the path of Islam and following something else. Leave it, give it up, and come back and continue your path of your birth. Be fearless. Nothing will go wrong. Haridas Thakur said, Kanda kanda hoy deha yadi ay pran. Tabu ami badne nachadi harinam. Kanda kanda hoy deha. If you make my body into pieces, kanda hoy deha yadi what is that? Yadi pran. Even if you cut my body into pieces, tabu ami badne nachadi harinam. I will not give up the holy name, and every piece will chant the holy name. Amazing. Haridas Thakur exhibited his determination. What a determination! Wow! What a taste for the holy name. Amazing. Haridas Thakur is a crest jewel of the universe, Lord Chaitanya said. So, then Kazi was very envious of Haridas Thakur. Kazi said, if we allow him like this, other people will follow. So, in order to, we need to punish him in such a way nobody would ever repeat this in future. Take him to the 22 marketplaces and beat him publicly. Beat him to death. Now, said fine. So what happened? They took him. They dragged him. They dragged him to the marketplace and they were beating. They were beating him to death. So Haridas Thakur was very, very peacefully. He was chanting the holy name as he was beaten up to death. He was chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then after taking him to the next place, then first one, then they took him to the second place. And started beating him again. So they took him to the second one again, and they continued beating. Nobody ever survived more than 2 marketplaces. But Haridas Thakur, he was praying, my Lord, They don't know what they're doing. Please, please forgive them. Amazing. Please forgive them. So what happened? He was actually requesting them. He was requesting the Supreme Lord, please forgive them. They don't know what they are doing. What a persecution he went through. After beating him in one place, they will drag him. Then, so they'll drag him to the next place, and from there again to the next place. Nobody has ever served more than 2 marketplaces, but they took him to all the 22 marketplaces. And Haridas Thakur, he was chanting, receiving these whips, receiving these beatings. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So what happened? Then the executor said, oh Haridas, actually no, the onlookers, the passers-by, they said, please, one person said, I'll give you the reward, don't do that. The Brahmin started crying, please don't do that. Somebody said, the village will be destroyed, and Haridas Thakur is a pure devotee. Still, they continued. And they finished all the marketplaces. Still, Haridas Thakur, he didn't die. Then the executors told him, if you don't die, the Qazi will think we have not performed our duty, and he'll be on our case. He'll be on our case. So your being alive is very dangerous for our lives. Oh, really? All right. And what he did? He closed his eyes and he prayed. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And he died. He went into deep trance like death. Hare Krishna. Then they took him to Qazi. They took him to Nawab Sada, saw him, saw the so-called dead body. Cremate him, bury him, because by birth Muslim, right? The Qazi said, no. If we give him burial, all his sins that he has done by abandoning Islam will be forgiven. He'll have a better life. Should not happen that he should be thrown into this body should be thrown into Ganges. Okay. What happened when he was in the deep trance in this, I mean, there is no breath, and he died actually. Then, his body became heavy. Krishna, what is that? Krishna entered his body. Anyway, what is that? They threw the body in Ganga. And they threw the body in Ganga. And the body was swept off in the current of the river Ganga. Then he went for some time. Then what happened? Haridas Thakur, he came back. He came back to the spiritual, normal. He came back to consciousness. And what did he start chanting? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He started chanting. And he came the association of Brahmins, started chanting. They were jumping and dancing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the Qazi came to know, the Nawab came to know. They came and they fell at his feet. They were amazed at his power. We are very, very sorry. Please excuse us. Very, very sorry. Please excuse us. So, actually, Haridas Thakur told the Brahmanas, I deserve this punishment. In that court of in the court of the Qazi, I had a lot of blasphemy of Supreme Lord. Blasphemy against the Supreme Lord. My eyes were actually my ears became contaminated. But the Supreme Lord, he was so magnanimous. He gave me this much punishment. We should not listen to the blasphemy of the Supreme Lord or His holy name. We should immediately leave that. That place. Chaitanya Bhagavat says, Haridas Thakur conveyed a message. Haridas Thakur could have avoided the whole thing, but excuse me. Haridas Thakur could have avoided the whole thing, but he's telling her, be tolerant, be patient, be enthusiastic to chant the holy name of Krishna. And no matter what happens, no matter what obstacles you go through, no matter what problems you go through, Krishna's holy name is the reality. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Amazing. So the executors, they were destroyed. Their families, they were destroyed. Because of their offense towards Haridas Thakur, actually. Right? And it is said, whoever remembers the story of Haridas Thakur, one will be freed from misery and pain. Wow. One will be freed from misery and pain. Excuse me. So, then one day, Haridas Thakur, then the Qazi he said, then the Nawab passed an order. Nobody should stop, nobody should restrict the movements of Haridas Thakur, chanting of the Haridas Thakur, actually. He said that. So he said Haridas Thakur is free to chant the holy name anywhere, everywhere. One day, Haridas Thakur was actually passing by. And he was passing by, he saw one snake charmer. He was actually playing on the instrument, and actually was singing. He was singing, and he's charming the snake. The snake was, snake was actually dancing. Then what happened? Haridas Thakur saw that. He saw, this person was singing the pastime of Krishna subduing Kaliya. Krishna subduing Kaliya. So what happened? When Haridas Thakur saw that this nice pastime of Krishna, this person was singing in the form of a song, and the snake was actually dancing. The snake was dancing accordingly. Haridas Thakur fainted. He fainted, and he fainted in ecstasy. just by hearing the pastime actually. Once he came back to the normal, normal condition, he started dancing. The onlookers, the passers-by, everyone saw that and they were so happy. They were so happy. Uh, they were so happy. Everyone was, in that, everyone attained that, everyone was absorbed into that mood of Haridas Thakur, including the snake charmer. And after some time, Haridas Thakur left when he came to the normal condition, Then what happened? One Brahman saw that. One Brahman saw that, and excuse me. When Brahman saw that, so he saw everyone how respectful they were, and especially the Haridas Thakur was exhibiting this, Haridas Thakur was exhibiting these symptoms of ecstasy. How appreciative the crowd was. He was watching, and what he did. So he imitated Haridas Thakur and he fainted. And he fainted, then he got up and he started dancing, imitating the symptoms of Haridas Thakur. When he did that, the snake charmer picked up a stick and started beating him. He started beating him. When the Brahmana started receiving the beatings, he couldn't take it. He ran away. Then the onlookers asked him, "What happened? Why you appreciated the previous person's? We appreciated the previous person and he fainted, and when he danced, why you were so appreciative? For the second one, why you did? Why did you beat him?" He said the first person, Haridas Thakur, is a genuine lover of God. He can see Krishna everywhere. And we are all affected by his mood because he's original, because his love is natural. His love for Krishna is natural, his love for living entities is natural. That's why we are all affected by that. But this person is an imitator. He did not have any ecstasy of ecstatic love for God is a very high thing. Ecstatic love for God is a very high thing. So this person is doing it just to get some cheap adoration, cheap glorification. And first of all, he stopped me doing my work. And second thing, he started cheaply imitating. All right. So it is said, the sight of Haridas, mere the sight of Haridas would dissipate. If you see Haridas Thakur, your material entanglement would be dissipated. If you see Haridas Thakur, your material entanglement will be dissipated. This will be removed from the clutches of the material illusion. So we can also, if we follow the footsteps of Haridas Thakur, we can attain it. 1 minute. But we need to be pure. We need to follow pure principles of bhakti. We should not offend anybody. We should not criticize anybody. And then in Lord Chaitanya will see that. Lord Chaitanya say that. What should be our mood so that Krishna can dance on our tongue. Krishna will allow himself to dance on our tongue. It is not, uh, definitely it is not the scholarship, quoting slokas. It is only by Krishna's mercy. You know, one has to become free from deceit. So, though why he has taken birth in a Muslim family, only to tell that bhakti can be practiced by anybody. Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family, and Prahlad was born in a demoniac family, and Hanuman was born in a monkey family, subhuman. He's not even human. Still, they are glorified. Still, they are glorified. Their bhakti is glorified. Right? And it is said Ganga wants to touch the feet of Haridas Thakur. Ganga wants to touch the feet of Haridas Thakur. It is said anybody would chant the name of Haridas Thakur. Just chant the name of Haridas Thakur, Namacharya. Once ascent to Goloka is guaranteed. Our going back to God is guaranteed. Hare Krishna. Excuse me. So one day, with this episode, Haridas Thakur became very famous. One arrogant Brahmana in the village Harinadi, he offended Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur in his lectures, he would say, chanting the holy name loud is 1,000 times better than chanting in the mind. 1,000 times better than chanting in the mind. And Haridas Thakur said, liberation is an insignificant byproduct. So, what is that? Liberation is an insignificant byproduct. So, this Brahmana from this village is so upset because for Mayavadis, liberation they attain after so many lifetimes. But when Haridas Thakur said liberation is an insignificant byproduct of bhakti, he couldn't take it. That it is said in Kali Yuga, end of a barbaric incarnation is going to appear. I think it's you. It's you. Where is it written that chanting the holy name loud is better than chanting in the mind? Haridas Thakur said, it is quoted in Srimad Bhagavatam. 10th canto, 34 verse, 18th, 34 chapter, 18th verse. A loud chanting is recommended. And the Naradiya Puran, Naradiya Puran says, one who chants the name of God, loudly, that is more, 1,000 times more more, what is that? So 1,000 times purer. And it's more effective than chanting the name in his mind. And he said, Naradiya Puran is mentioning, and Naradiya Puran is mentioning, and Varaha Puran is also mentioning. So, that Brahmana became very offensive. Because of his offenses, that person contracted leprosy. Haridas Thakur felt very sad, but he already left the place. It is said in Varaha Puran, demons take birth in the Brahmin families in Kali Yuga and they harass the devotees. So anyway, so in Haridas Thakur, after that he came to Benopal. Actually, he came to Fulia. Haridas Thakur lived was sometime in Benopal, sometime in Fulia, close to Santipur actually. Because Advaitacharya was his associate. Uh, Advaitacharya was his associate. He liked, he wanted to stay in the association of the god brother. Advaitacharya was his god brother actually. So when he was actually in Benapal, Ramchandra Khan, basically Hindu, but a Khan is the, what is that, title. Khan is the title. So anyway, what is it? When he saw Haridas Thakur getting a lot of name and fame, he couldn't take it. Saw Haridas Thakur getting a lot of name and fame, he couldn't take it. He hired a prostitute. He hired a prostitute and he told the prostitute, if only you entice Haridas Thakur, I will give you, if you can ruin his reputation, if you made him fall down to your beauty, then I'll give you this much money. Just 1 minute. Huh? I'm back, I'm sorry. So, so Ramchandra Khan, what he did, so Khan was a title. It's a very respectable title. So when he saw Haridas Thakur receiving all this um, respect from the people, he was envious. Spirituality is all about not having envy, not having hatredness. So when we hate somebody, we are hating a portion of Krishna. When we are envious of somebody, we are actually envious of Krishna. So abilities, what is that? Krishna is the one who is giving abilities. Who is giving abilities? Krishna is the one giving abilities. When we are envious of somebody, we are envious of Krishna anyway, right? So Haridas Thakur was chanting. Haridas Thakur would always live in the outskirts. You know, he would live in the outskirts and nobody would be around, and he would chant the holy name. So one day this prostitute, actually no, so Ramchandra Khan hired a prostitute. He said, I'll give you this much wealth if only you ruin him. I don't want, no, I don't want him to be respected. His Holiness Radhanath Swami, he tells a nice story. You know, what is the story he tells? There are two gurus, two monks in Rishikesh. Maharaj said he knew them. One person even preached to him. Anyway, so Maharaj went to, after so many years, he went to see them again, maybe 20, 30 years later. And the story was very amazing. I remember Maharaj was staying in the caves. Probably they were also staying in the caves. That's how he knew them. So what happened? They gave up everything. They gave up their families, their jobs, the lucrative things that this world offers, and they were practicing. They were doing sadhana in the caves. What happened to one person? People from Delhi started coming and started taking guidance. So many people were coming to his cave. And they were taking guidance. When the other person saw that, he couldn't take it. He's doing the sadhana in the cave for so many years. Hare Krishna. And what he did? Somehow he acquired a gun. And this Prabhu, when he was actually taking bath, this second person went and shot him to death. And he ended up in jail. Ended up in a jail. Envy. I'm talking to myself. Usually, people identify with the successes. In the spiritual life, in the spiritual life, it is not more than success. Uh, More than success, it is the consciousness. So Ramchandra Khan hired a prostitute to ruin Haridas Thakur. To ruin Haridas Thakur. So the prostitute, she said, let me enjoy with him one day. You know, so she wants money and a sex life. That's what Hiranyakasipu is all about. Hiranya means gold, Kasipu means bad. He also knew the philosophy. He also knew the philosophy, yes. Ravana knew the philosophy, yes. But their philosophy is for sense gratification. I'm talking to myself. So, Lord Chaitanya Vairagya Vidya, Nija Bhakti Yogam, Siksha Ardhameka Purusha Purana, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sarira Dhari, Bhavam Vadirvatsapadam Prapadya. So, Vairagya Vidya, what is Nijam Bhakti, real Bhakti? Detachment from the material world. Are we Karuna Karan conscious or Krishna conscious? So definitely we need to know what is happening around. But we should not be so much influenced with that consciousness that our Krishna consciousness is lost. The prostitute went in the night. It's in the evening actually. Haridas, by the will of Providence, you are there, I am there. You are alone, I am alone. And there is nobody around. Come, let us enjoy. And so when a woman comes, you're a devotee, you should satisfy people. She has a philosophy also. Haridas Thakur said, why not? But I have a vow. Vow of chanting my prescribed rounds. Until they are done, I don't do anything. Definitely I'll satisfy you. Sit down. She sat and she offered obeisance to Tulasi. She sat in front of him, exposing, tempting him. Hers is lust, his is love. Hare Krishna. And she was listening to his chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He was chanting all night. Haridas Thakur, taste for the holy name is unlimited. Hare Krishna. So there was an object of temptation. Haridas Thakur was unfazed by it. He was least affected by it. He was not affected by it. And he was chanting. And suddenly it's morning. Said Haridas Thakur said, I'm sorry I could not finish my rounds, but come today, end of the day, I'll definitely satisfy you. I'll finish my rounds early. She went. Ramchandra Khan asked her, what happened? Did you enjoy? No. He has some vow. But he liked me. He asked me to come tomorrow. Today, evening. I'll go again. Ramchandra Khan said, great, go ahead. Evening, she went again. She came and offered obeisances. And she was exhibiting all her feminine attractions. But Haridas Thakur was chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Chanting. Whole night passed again. It became dawn. Haridas Thakur said, somehow I could not finish. Please, please come tomorrow. No, I don't want this place. You please come. She said, all right. She was becoming impatient, but she knew she needs patience to succeed. She came on third day. She came on third day. Haridas Thakur, she said, she started listening just to give him, create faith in Haridas Thakur. She is a devotee. She started chanting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Haridas Thakur has that type of compassion. She changed. And she fell at his feet, and she revealed what is the plot behind. Ramchandra Khan hired me to ruin you, but in your association, and I realized, please deliver me, I am a fallen rich. Haridas Thakur said, human life is meant for self-realization. Human meant for attaining love of Krishna, attaining a Krishna prema. The day I came to know the plot of Ramchandra Khan, I wanted to leave, but I waited only for you. So shave your head and donate all your wealth to Brahmins. Prabhupada writes, he didn't say donate the wealth to Daridra Narayans. There is no concept of Daridra Narayan. Narayan cannot be Daridra. He is Lakshmipati, So he said, donate the wealth to preachers. Brahmins means devotees. And you come here and stay here. Chant every day 300,000 names. Chant 192 rounds. I think that is the power and blessing of Haridas Thakur. Wow, a prostitute could chant every day 192 rounds. Amazing. And Haridas Thakur immediately left. He didn't stay there. So he said, you can use this place to chant. I am leaving. He left. She changed. She shaved her head and she donated all her wealth. So that is, her soul was touched. Her soul was rejuvenated by the association of Haridas Thakur for 3 days. She understood everything in this world is temporary. Wealth, family, everything. Hare Krishna. And Haridas Thakur has given that type of taste for the holy name. She could give up everything. Haridas Thakur chanting cut through the layers of ego. Otherwise, a prostitute till yesterday, who can shave the head? Hare Krishna. She did. Amazing. She shaved her head. And she donated her wealth to all the Brahmins. She became a devotee. Started chanting every day 192 rounds. Hare Krishna. She has become that type of devotee. The great Brahmins, devotees would come and consult her as an authority on various aspects of bhakti, nama tattva. Wow, amazing. A prostitute has become a devotee, and she has become that type of exalted Mahabhagavat devotee. So we can understand the power of the holy name. We can understand the power of a pure devotee, Haridas Thakur. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Amazing, right? Holy name, holy name. Beginning is holy name, middle is holy name, end is holy name. Indra Prabhu says, Sarvadharman Vardhyaja Mamekam Saranam Raja. Krishna says, surrender unto me only. So God, What is that? Ainda Prabhu says, Namekam Charitamrita. Surrender unto no name, Krishna's name only. Oh, it's Krishna's name and form. Krishna and non-different, right? Amazing. Hare Krishna. So, what is that? That's it. I just laughed. So then one day he came to he came to meet Balaram Acharya. Balaram Acharya is the family priest of Raghunath Das Goswami's parents and uncle, Hiranya Majumdar and Govardhan Majumdar. That's where actually, that's where Raghunath Das Goswami received the blessings of Haridas Thakur. Amazing. Association of devotees. Association of devotees changes. It brings a difference in our lives. Otherwise, what we are so much attached to seeing matter, eating matter, hearing dead matter. And we are actually falling into the ocean of metal existence. But a devotee's association, it lifts us. Amazing. Chanting lifts us up, prasadam lifts us up, association lifts us up. And the what is that? Reading of the scriptures. All these things, they cause our elevation. Right? So anyway, what is that? So one day they arranged a lecture. On the glories of a holy name. So many people came to see Haridas Thakur. They were impressed by his effulgence. Wow. Haridas Thakur was exhibiting that power of bhakti, power of the holy name. And what happened? Haridas Thakur, the holy name is so powerful. Insignificant, the glory, what is that? The goal of chanting holy name is actually, what is that? To chant the holy name, of course. But holy name, chanting the holy name, we can attain the love of God. It will awaken that love of God. So liberation is an insignificant byproduct. Haridas Thakur said that. And there was a tax collector by name, a Brahmana by name Gopal Chakravarti. He was a very beautiful Brahmana. And on top of it is a Brahman. And he's a tax collector. And he's also, has some knowledge. He didn't like it. He couldn't take it. He said, wow, Kaliga is really progressing. We need to, hear from, you need to hear from a Muslim about the glories. And you are telling liberation is an insignificant byproduct of chanting the holy name? Because for Mayavadis, liberation is everything. But when Haridas Thakur said that he couldn't take it, I challenge you. If that is not proven, I'll cut off your nose. So, what is that? Haridas Thakur said, all right, no problem. So, immediately, because of this arrogance, he was removed from his job. He lost his position. And 3 days later, he contracted leprosy and his nose fell off. Haridas Thakur already left the place. We should not offend the devotees. To blaspheme the devotees who dedicated their lives. That's the first offense, right? dedicate their lives for the propagation of the holy name of the Lord. You should not offend them. You should not blaspheme them. Then actually, what is that? During so actually Haridas Thakur would live in a cave, and people would come and consult him. But this cave had a venomous big serpent, and it would eat all the animals. And because of that, the cave was filled with a very, very bad odor, the foul smell. Anybody would come to meet Haridas Thakur, they would not stay for a moment. But oblivious to the surroundings, Haridas Thakur would always chant the name, and he was not affected by this bad odor, the foul smell. But the devotees who would come and to consult Haridas Thakur, they concluded there should be some snake in it. They all discussed, and one day they came to Haridas Thakur and said, "Son, you should know there is a snake, a venomous serpent living here. A venomous serpent living here. It's very dangerous. We encourage you to vacate this cave." Haridas Thakur said, "Whatever you said, I have never experienced. But anyway, before tomorrow, either I will stay or he will stay." So Haridas Thakur, when we love Krishna, when we show affection to Krishna, it is called a love. But when we show the same affection towards the fellow living entities, the other living entities, it is called compassion. Haridas Thakur has attained the perfection of his life, the Krishna Prema. So when he said that, and the whole the day they were discussing Shastras, after some time, then they saw a big snake coming out from the cave. So long, going. All the Brahmins started chanting Krishna's name for protection. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And the snake laughed. When he said, either I will stay or snake will stay, snake felt she cannot stay, or he cannot stay, and left. The spots on the body, it was very scary actually. Snake laughed. So anyway, one time, Haridas Thakur was living Fulia. One time there was, it was, Haridas Thakur always had one thing, Tulsi. He would chant in front of Tulsi, निरंतर कृष्ण नाम लैबो करो तुलसी सेवना अचिराद पाबेरे कृष्णेर पाद दर्शन. So this is the verse. Always chant the holy name and render service to Tulsi. Very soon you will see the lotus feet of Krishna. Achirad. In very short time, you will see Krishna's lotus feet. Amazing. So Haridas Thakur was chanting, and it was a full moon, and it's a well-lit night. And in the moonlight, it was so beautiful. In a serene environment, there was nobody, sitting on the, his cave was in front of was on the bank of Ganga. In the moonlight was falling on the waves of Ganga, creating a beautiful, serene, calm environment. In that calm environment, Haridas Thakur was chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And in that time, one lady came. She was so beautiful. Her body has a hue, a golden hue. She was very decorated. She's looking like a celestial personality. She said, she came and she offered obeisance to Tulasi. And she said, I have come here to, I heard a lot about you and glories. I want enjoyment. Let us enjoy together. Haridas Thakur has only one same story. Why not? But I have to chant my rounds. Sit down. I have to chant my rounds. Once they are done, I'll help you. I'll definitely satisfy. And when she sat, the way she exposed to create temptation, no ordinary living entity can survive. But Haridas Thakur was unfazed, fully absorbed, and chanting the holy name Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Even Brahma cannot withstand temptations. That type of, that's what she exhibited, her feminine attractions. But as it became dawn, she said, I'll come tomorrow, and she left. She tried like this for 3 days. After 3, but Haridas Thakur was, he was unfazed, determined, absorbed in the holy name. He was not tempted by her. She was at the end, third, she said, you should know I am Maya Devi. You should know I am Maya Devi and I have tempted him, Brahma. Earlier I was initiated by, by my husband, Lord Shiva, in Rama Mantra. That gives only liberation. But now I want to attain the love of God, Krishna Prema. Give me, please give me this, initiate me. And Haridas Thakur initiated her. She was very happy to receive that initiation. This is a place Haridas Thakur conquered Maya actually. Then he came and started living with, close to Santipur, because Advaitacharya would live in Santipur. So one time, death anniversary came in the home of Advaitacharya. Advaitacharya was the leader of all the Vaishnavas in Santipur, and actually entered Navadvip. So all the Brahmins came, and those days it was an honor to receive Shraddha. If you are the first person to receive it, it's a great honor. That in the Advaita Acharya's home, because he was a leader. Haridas Thakur was also invited. But Advaita Acharya did not give this Shraddha Patra to anybody. He gave it to Haridas Thakur. Wow. He gave it to Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur is so humble. That's why our prayer should be Namaruchi, Jivadaya, and Vaishnava Seva. Namaruchi, Jivadaya, and Vaishnava Seva. What a crest jewel, Haridas Thakur. Full absorption in the holy name. You know, when Lord Chaitanya eventually took sannyas and moved to Jagannath Puri, Haridas Thakur also moved to Jagannath Puri. We see Haridas Thakur, his place and his samadhi. Lord Chaitanya personally arranged. This will come in Antilila. This will come in Antilila. How Lord Chaitanya would glorify him. And of all the associates, Haridas Thakur is considered one of the foremost associates of Lord Chaitanya. Haridas Thakur, Surya Goswami. So one day Lord Chaitanya asked Haridas, Lord Chaitanya has only one thing, is Patita Pavan. How to deliver people of this world? Haridas, how these Yavanas, how are they going to be delivered? My Lord, to deliver everyone, you have brought this holy name. Just by chanting the holy name, they'll be delivered. But Haridas, Muslims, they don't chant our names. Excuse me. Krishna's names, my Lord. You are so merciful. You've invested all your energies in the power of the holy name. When Muslims chant the name Haram, 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 Haram has Ram in it. That's how they'll be delivered. And sometimes when we chant together, then what? Lord Chaitanya said, what about the trees? Stavara and Jangama. Stavara means moving, non-moving. Jangama means moving. Okay. Whatever you said, for Mlechas and Yavanas, I'm okay with that. You're telling even if they chant Ram, as Ram in it and they'll be delivered, great. Actually, in Malaysia, Ramzan is called Hari Raya Pusa. Very interesting. So they say Hari Raya Pusa, Hari Raya Pusa. Hari is there. They're delivered. Imagine. Right? So anyway, then Lord Chaitanya said, what about the trees? But my Lord, when a living entity chants when a jiva chants the holy name loud, and whoever hears it, a tree, bacteria, insects, they will all be delivered. Anyway, when people come together and chant the holy name, there is an echo. When the holy name is reverberating, when the holy name reverberates, there is an echo. That is trees chanting. Wow. That is how they are delivered. My Lord, you have descended to this world to deliver everyone. Including Jagai and Madai. Don't underestimate the power of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Amazing, right? So, the discussion between Lord Chaitanya and Haridas Thakur is Harinam Chintamani. Amazing book. Explains the tattva of the holy name, Nam Tattva. And I encourage everyone to read it. Wonderful book, actually. So I want to end it today. We'll continue with Lord Chaitanya's pastimes and youth tomorrow. Please join at 5:30. If I've spoken anything wrong, do excuse me as a humble servant, but very grateful for your patient audience. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. I'm ending now.